ADA Comply is an overlay, or I call it a toolbar overlay, and this is nothing new. There's about 8 vendors out there that are already selling overlays. So the basic premise is that you get a piece of JavaScript code and you install that code into your website. Then a clickable icon appears, and if someone clicks the icon, they get a menu of supposed accessibility options. This is nothing new. It really doesn't matter how many options are on there because overlays aren't sufficient for accessibility. Um, they don't make you in conformance with WCAG 2.0, AA, or 2.1. I think what is difficult for me to convey to you is how far detached these are from actual accessibility. Um, they are practically horrible and don't even come close to, in any way, shape, or form, making your website accessible. It's more just it's like a faux accessibility thing. It's like if you wanted to pretend that you were making your website accessible, this might be something that you would do. But as far as actual accessibility, and it involves manual remediation. Someone has to go in there and get your content, make sure your content is accessible, and then they have to go into your website and then make sure your website itself is accessible. And so we can't say what exactly amounts to ADA compliance other than the full and equal use and enjoyment of your website. So you want to make sure your website is fully and equally able to be used by persons with disabilities. But there is no legal prescription of exactly what is required. But as an attorney, I will tell you that I would never, ever say that any type of overlay amounts to an accessible website because there are so many reasons why. And one of them is that someone has to activate this supposed accessibility, which if even if we get to this second part where we assume where we say, is this accessible? It's not accessible. But before that, someone has to activate that. So if no one activates that, if someone doesn't want to activate it, if they don't see it, or if they don't know about it, then your website still remains wholly inaccessible and totally open for a lawsuit. So at this juncture, if you are promoting uh, this ADA comply, if you're an affiliate and you are trying to tell people to put this in as a solution to um, any type of lawsuit, to preventing a lawsuit, then you're going to have some people that are extremely upset when and if they do get this lawsuit. I can tell you right now that there are already lawsuits being filed against websites with overlays. Okay, so and when I say the overlays, you might think, well, it matters which one is which. It doesn't. They're all basically the same. Some might have more options than the others, but they're all basically the same. And if you're just really insistent that you really want this clickable icon on your website and you want these different options on your website, you can get an overlay for free. So if you really really want one, you don't have to pay for it. There's a free one, and I think it's comparable, if not better, than the one I saw on the ADA Comply demo video because I did go through the website. I went through the website and um, tried to. I mean, I want to know what it is I'm reviewing, and I went through the website and I saw the sales pitch, and it's an overlay. That's all it is. It's an overlay. So I'll include links below. If you want to know all of the not even all of the technical reasons, but if you want to know many of the technical reasons why overlays fail in regards to accessibility, you can go to overlaysdon'twork.com. I'll include a link to that. I'll include a link to the blog post where an ADA defense lawyer wrote about how automated solutions to accessibilities don't work and how people with overlays installed on their website are being sued. And these lawsuits are fresh out of March 2020. I don't know if people with overlays have been sued before that, but we do know that they are being sued now. I have actually taken a look at all of the claims, the complaints filed in court. And sure enough, yes, all of these websites had an accessibility icon on them. So it's not going to stop plaintiffs' lawyers, even if it might have, if you run an accessibility scan, if you run the Wave accessibility checker, which is the most popular um, accessibility checker, if you run that scan, which is free to run, you just have to install Wave in your Firefox or Chrome browser. If you run that scan you will see that the errors still show for websites with overlays installed on them. So all this is to say, ADA comply is just one of many. It's being marketed heavily, and people are pushing the sense of urgency and the fear as a marketing tactic, which certainly there is a sense of urgency when it comes to ADA compliance and not receiving a lawsuit. I always recommend that you take this, you address this right away. But just because there is a sense of urgency does not mean you should choose someone because they tell you that. You have to be discerning in who you choose and how you choose to make your website accessible, and paying. It doesn't matter whether it's free. It doesn't matter whether it's $70 or $50 or $100 or $500 or even more. None of these overlays suffice for accessibility. I would never recommend any of them.